tech stacks do you recommend for the more serious operators out there?
Yeah. And as you grow, and you guys will know this as well, the options are unbelievable. If you go to conferences and events and there's a vendor room, especially at the bigger events, you'll see that there are so much of availability out there, which is why I put together the second book, which is this one. This is called The Book Direct Blueprint. So this one is all about the marketing tactics that you mentioned about, Randy, but this one is literally about the tech stack to have if you want to grow a business. So the main thing we've obviously spoke about is the property management software tool. Again, there are lots of choice out there. My advice is do your homework, do your due diligence, book in demos and pick the best one for you.
Let's spend 10 minutes together to change your life.
Can you touch upon, like, say you already have your PMS system in place, you have 2 or 3 properties, you're looking to scale to that next 3, 4, 5 unit properties, building that brand, doing the websites. Can you just touch upon like using your database, using your CRM to like find those influencers, those super fans you like to call them? Can you touch upon that?
Massively. I mean, so you've got your property management software, and for those of you who don't know what a PMS is, just go and look at the Boostly website. We did a blog post on this, so it's boostly.co.uk/PMS, and there's a section in the book as well on both the books about this. But once you've got a PMS, that's like your central source of data. That's where you'll store all of your properties information. That'll then talk to Booking.com, Airbnb, Vrbo, any third-party site that you list your properties on, so you don't get double bookings. But another cool thing apart of a PMS is that you can start to collect data. And I know hosts that have been doing this for maybe a couple of years that are sat on maybe 500 emails, 1,000 emails, and they don't do anything with it. But one of the easiest ways of marketing your business is to keep in touch with the people who have already given you money. I think all business owners, we are guilty of this, is that we're always looking for the new money. We're always looking for the new booking, the new customer, when the true profit, and again, the true growth of your business lies in those who've already given you money in the past. And again, we talk about it in the book. There's a massive chapter on this in the book, and we provide templates as well with the free companion course. But if you can just build a database and then act upon it. So we now at Boostly, we have our own CRM, which is a customer relationship management tool, which has got email built in. You basically keep in touch with them once a month, once every 2 weeks, and just keep in touch with what's happening within the business. You don't have to sell on every email. I think that's the big misconception, is that you are always selling. There's a really good book by Gary Vaynerchuk on this, which is Jab, 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 Right Hook. And again, he comes from the marketing world, which is, well, the engagement in comedy, the intention of comedy. That's what he talks about, where basically when you send emails out, jab, jab, jab is basically educate, inform. So for example, with Florida, and it could be the town that you're in, it could be any events that are coming up, it could be any concerts that are coming to town, Taylor Swift or whoever's coming through, whatever may be happening nearby. And then the right hook is where you send that one email out to say, listen, we've just got this brand new property coming on board. It's a motel, it's a whatever it is, boutique hotel. And we're going to be first come, first served. If you want to come and stay here, you know our brand, you know what we do, you love us, you know that we provide quality service. It's going to be here. First 10 people message back, we'll get a discount. That is literally the right hook. And if you compare that to every other form of marketing out there, it is by far the best, because when you post on social media, so let's say you put a post on Facebook, right? 0.1% of your followers will see that post unless you're going to put money behind it. The reason being is that Facebook, and when they're on the scroll, there's only so much of real estate that they can provide and see. Business pages get put right at the very bottom because Facebook know that you will pay them to get put to the top, right? So it's very busy. If you've got a post on Airbnb, so you're listing on Airbnb, even if some divine miracle that they find your listing and they click on your listing, Airbnb is still saying, hey, if you like this, you'll love this, and they'll promote your competitors or somebody else in the area. When it comes to email, when you send that email out, as long as your copy is good and as long as you know what you're putting in it, it's literally a one-on-one communication. There's no noise. As soon as they open that email and they read it, as long as you've got a good email, they will then, without any other distractions, click on your website and go from there. So yeah, email is by far the best one. Super simple to get started. Like we've even now brought our own CRM into play because we know that there's so much choice out there, like MailChimp, etc. And so, yeah, if you're really looking to grow, having a database behind you, again, talking back to what we spoke about before with acquisition and somebody buying you, they will look at how big your list is. They will look at how big your customer database is, and they'll look at your marketing efforts as well.
What tech stacks do you recommend for the more serious operators out there?
Yeah. And as you grow, and you guys will know this as well, the options are unbelievable. If you go to conferences and events and there's a vendor room, especially at the bigger events, you'll see that there are so much of availability out there, which is why I put together the second book, which is this one. This is called the Book Direct Blueprint. So this one is all about the marketing tactics that you mentioned about, Randy, but this one is literally about the tech stack to have if you want to grow a business. So the main thing we've obviously spoke about is the property management software tool. Again, there are lots of choice out there. My advice is do your homework, do your due diligence, book in demos and pick the best one for you. Then what you need obviously is a payment gateway. Unfortunately, Stripe is the major one that's out there. Stripe has got loads of issues, but no one's come along with anything that'll top it just yet. Not until blockchain technology gets there anyway, but Stripe is obviously so you can take your payments direct. And then you need to make sure that you've got guest verification. So AirCover is probably one of the biggest reasons why people don't take bookings outside of Airbnb. AirCover is just fancy marketing from Airbnb. To be perfectly honest, there are so many third-party providers that offer same service, and this is why Superhog is the one that a lot of people know about, but there's other providers as well. They will, as soon as your guest verifies who they are, they will cover you and your guest up to a certain amount of millions of dollars if case anything happens. That's really important for a direct booking. Guest says who their saver is and getting yourself covered. But then I think from there, a lot of the things become a nice addition or things to make your life easy. Obviously, Breezeway and Turno provide a fantastic service. That has to be on everybody's tech stack. I feel like that's like the secret ingredient, and that's obviously how to communicate with cleaners, how to communicate with your property team, your management team. That's obviously massive. And then, you know, you've got dynamic pricing, which again, I really am a big fan of. We didn't have dynamic pricing back in the day for when we had our family business. The way that we did pricing is that we looked at what price we were charging and we just put £1 on the end every year. It was so archaic. We left so much revenue on the end, but our mindset was of this, it's the old age, like mindset of, we can't charge that. People would never pay that because we knew that we wouldn't pay that, and we were stuck in with our mindset. But the final thing with pricing tools, that's that one. And then the other final one, everything else is pretty much voluntary. It can be pretty much what will make your life easier at this point. And then
I have one final question I wanted to touch base on. The last time I met you in Nashville, you had a huge course on AI technology and kind of how it's been implemented into the short-term space. Can you just touch upon like what's the newest trends? What are you working on? How's it helping the business?
And that's the final thing that I was going to mention about was AI and leveraging AI in your business. Now, the cool thing is that you as a solo operator, small business owner, you don't have to worry about how you are going to incorporate AI into your business because your vendor suppliers are doing that for you. There is a big race at the moment to be the best and the first that is out there. Before you realize it, and you probably won't even realize it, it'll just become the norm. Your property management software tool or your pricing software tool that already had AI built into it, but now it's ramped up, will start to provide services for you. For example, Hospitable announced where they have now got guest communications that is powered through AI. It's not perfect. Some of the responses are bananas, but it's a start. We're at the very early stages of this, and it's only going to get better. And the more that big LLM, so large language model companies like OpenAI, like Claude, like Grok that's from X or Llama that's from Meta, they start to improve their systems, the better our systems will be. Because all these companies do, the PMS providers or third-party tools like Host AI, Bestie AI, Boom now, they build it off of the back of these bigger companies, and it just filters down. What's really interesting to me is that Apple, and we're recording this in September 2024, Apple are about to announce any day now the next line of their products. With these new products, it's going to have Apple intelligence built into it. So your iPhone, for example, your iPad, your iMac will have a version of OpenAI's ChatGPT built into it. What's really interesting to me as well is that Amazon, with their Alexa range, that is going to be powered by Claude, which is another large language model, which is Anthropic. So they're all building, and they're all building off somebody else's tech. You know what I mean? So it's all comes from the top providers. So as a host, and this can be really overwhelming, my advice is don't panic. Don't worry. Just keep doing what you're doing on a day-to-day. Obviously, keep on top of it. And if you listen to our podcast, which is the Boostly podcast, you watch our YouTube videos, then I like to be at the forefront of it. I do like messing around with it. And when I go speak at events now, like for example, in Nashville, Bill Faith, who organized it, just said, just do 4 hours on AI, which, I just literally came up with that on the flight over. But because I'm at the forefront of it, I like messing around with it and I can show cool tools. But if you break it down to it, what takes your business forward every single day, don't think about trying to bring in something into your business, because your PMS will help you with it.
If you enjoyed this episode, stay tuned for part 3, coming out in a few days.